Hello students, in this module we are going to study about your chapter 6 local self-government in the urban area. Remember in the previous chapter of civics, that is chapter 5, we did local self-government, but that was in the rural level, that means in the village area. Now we will move on to the urban area, and when we are dealing with the urban local self-government, mainly we will be talking about the municipal corporation and municipal committee. They are the two important parts of this chapter. Rest everything is all related to them, and we will do it in short. So first of all, we talk about the introduction part, and that is the Constitution's 74th Amendment Act 1992. What does this particular act say? Let's read about this. In many states, local bodies had become weak and ineffective on account of a variety of reasons, including the failure to hold regular elections. Also is one of the main thing, because proper elections are not done and not done on the regular time. So most of the people, or those who are there already in the position, they think that it is totally about their rule and they can do whatever they feel like. As a result, urban local bodies were not able to perform effectively as properly it was planned under the unit of self-government, that what they were supposed to do, they were not doing it properly, or the work was not properly maintained as according to the, you can say, loopholes in the election and proper management of the organization. So in order to make the urban local bodies more effective, the Constitution passed the 74 Amendment Act 1992, or in this act is also known as the Nagar Palika and Municipalities Act. So you might have a question that what is the 74th Amendment Act, better known as or commonly known as. You should remember it can be vice versa also. So you should know it is 74th Amendment Act 1992 is called the Nagar Palika and Municipalities Act. What are the features or main important points given in this particular Amendment Act? It is, first, the act gives constitutional status to urban local bodies. Constitutional status or to the urban local bodies means that they should be properly given by, worked upon by the rules and regulations, and that will be done by the elected members and designatories. They have to abide to the rules. The act provides for direct elections to all local self-government bodies. Proper elections have to be conducted. How and what, that is all mentioned in the rules. A fixed tenure for 5 years is given to all the organizational designatories. Then 33% of the seats are reserved for the women category, and even for the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe category, and even for the other backward classes. District planning committee to be constituted by the state government is also one of the things. The act also provides for 3-tier local bodies in the urban sector also, and they are municipal corporations for larger areas, and then municipal councils for the smaller urban areas, and third we have the Nagar Panchayats, or for the areas in transition from a rural area to urban area. That means the very big cities, they will have your municipal corporations. The smaller cities and towns, they will have your municipal councils. And then there are certain areas which are developing from the rural to the urban areas. So these developing areas which are coming somewhere from half midway in villages, midway in the cities, they are somewhere in between, not properly villages all throughout, or through and through village, not, you can term them as all out as your city. So these particular areas are supposed to be looked after by the Nagar Panchayats. Remember, panchayat is a thing that is usually in the rural areas, but over here the name Nagar shows that it is about the cities. So that is why we say Nagar Panchayats are for the urban areas, for the urban, you can say, local self-government, but in the areas which are midway between the urban and the rural. Then let's talk about the municipal corporation. That is the first heading or the first part of the local self-government in the urban area. Municipal corporation is the local self-government's biggest unit. Like in the urban rural area it was Zilla Parishad, we read it at the end. Here we are reading about municipal corporation, the highest level, right in the beginning. It carries out its function through a well organized division of all the departments into proper segments, like water supply, sewage disposal is undertaken, housing board, education department, electricity department. So all these various departments are all working under the municipal corporation, and still while they are working under one municipal corporation, there are different departments totally working in their own zone, their own department, not interfering in the other departments at the most. When the need be, then it can be, but otherwise they are totally separate segments. Each of these departments are looked after by experienced and qualified persons. They are recruited. They are not just elected, they are even recruited members also, those who are looking after it, but they are headed by the elected representatives. Like in the municipal corporation, mayor is the person, then there is a general council, standing committee, and the municipal commissioner. So these are the various heads which are working over there, the representatives. The mayor, you must have heard about the elections of the mayor. So they are the one looking after the municipal corporation and the various departments, and yes, proper functioning of the various departments in coordination and cooperation as well. Next, we see the election of the municipal corporation dignitaries. The member of the corporation are elected in the same way as those of the legislative assembly, that is through elections. However, instead of constituency, municipal areas are called as wards. You must have heard कि ward member का election है. So that ward member का election is basically we are electing them for this particular area. The elections are held on the basis of universal adult franchise. That means all the adults above the age of 18, registered voters, they are going to vote for the people to be the ward members. And then through the secret ballot, and the number of representatives depends on the population of the city. How many wards there would be, how many members will be there in the municipal corporation. Everything depends on the number of the people there in that city, that is the population. Term of office, as it is said, it is the term for 5 years. You don't have to go through the entire paragraph. You can simply remember the term of municipal corporation members is 5 years as given in the constitution, although it can be dissolved even before also, just like the other things that you have done in civics, can be dissolved earlier if the government feels that they are not working properly. However, the elections for the municipal corporation should be completed before the expiry of the term of any member who is presently working. In case of dissolution, election should be held within 6 months of its dissolution. So if they dissolve the particular you can say corporation, then just after the dissolution of the corporation, a new election has to be held, and that to be done within the 6 months time span. So that is how the elections and proper recruitment and the term is decided. Next, we see the composition, as we have already done it in the municipal corporation introduction. Here, let's once again see what does a municipal corporation comprises of. First and foremost, general council, then the person elected as the head as the mayor, then the standing committee, and a municipal commissioner. So here, general council, let's talk about them in detail. The general council is formed of elected members known as municipal councillors. They are known as municipal councillors because they belong to the general council. These members are elected directly through the proper elections that are done by, you can say, universal adult franchise only. And the number of seats in a corporation depends on the population of the seat, which is decided by the state itself. There are reserved seats also for the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, even for the backward classes and the women's category. The general council co-opts some members of the aldermen. They are generally eminent persons of the city or the respected old people or experienced people of the city. The general council appoints many other officials except the municipal commissioner. Most of the members are just elected and opted by these people only. Then comes the next important person, the one person thing, and that is the mayor. The councillors together with aldermen elect among themselves the mayor and the deputy mayor. They are generally elected for a period of 1 year but can be re-elected annually for the full term of corporation. Next is the important functions of the mayor. Since a mayor is an important body over here, important person, so he has certain functions. What are those functions? Considered as the first citizen in the entire city, he is the most important person, so considered as first citizen, and it is he represents the city at various ceremonies. He presides over the meetings of the municipal corporation. Then he is the one who regulates all the working and business of the corporation. He decides the agenda to be considered in the meetings, and he obtains reports from the municipal commissioner and regarding various projects and programs whatever they are doing in the city. He acts as a link between the corporation and the state government. Whatever the report he gets from the municipal commissioner, he passes it on to the state government as and when required and whenever it is questioned. Then comes the third category, that is the standing committee. The members of the general council are represented on the standing committee through elections. So all the members of general council, they are represented by the standing committee, and that is through elections. There are different standing committees to deal with subjects like finance, health, engineering, taxation, welfare. So all the various segments, specialized segments, they are divided into the standing committee. Lastly, we have the municipal commissioner. The municipal commissioner is appointed by the governor, and he too is appointed for a term of 5 years. The governor, usually in case of a union territory, he is appointed by the central government, not by the governor but by the president itself, you can say, by the central government. He is the chief executive of the corporation, and his function is to carry on and control administration in the entire corporation, to implement projects and programs and even report it to the mayor, to maintain and safeguard all municipal properties, proper upkeep of them, to prepare financial budgets and perform other such related functions as to the finances and proper implementation of the finances in various areas. And lastly, to take part in the meetings of the council, but he cannot move any resolution or vote in the meeting. He's just supposed to be present over the meeting and use that information later onwards for implementation of various projects and programs. So this is the various function of the various designatories of the municipal corporation. Then we talk about the functions of the municipal corporation. Municipal corporation, as it's a local self-government in the urban cities area, it is concerned with all the matters of the residents of that city. And generally we can divide the functions of the municipal corporation into two categories: compulsory and those which are not compulsory or optional functions. So here first let's take up the first category, and that is the compulsory functions, which are also called as the obligatory. First is provision of, these are the general things that you can understand very simply by just reading it, nothing to explain. First function is to provide electricity, water, sewage disposal, all these things for like proper basic amenities, basic requirements of the citizens. Provision of public health services like provision of hospitals, dispensaries, welfare centers in different areas of the city, so that it is not far away. All these basic facilities are not far away from the people in one area and from wherever they are in the different areas. Provision of public conveniences and utilities like roads, buses, bus shelters, buildings and all those things. Demolition of dangerous structures which might cause life and be fatal for various things, or damage, or various other such things has to be done. Plantation of trees for ecological reasons, for obviously, and other such like public urinals and toilets in the busy area or commercial areas. So these are the important things that they have to talk about or think about. Proper provision of these things. Maintenance of records of birth and deaths, like in the village it was about the Gram Panchayat doing it, over here it is the municipal corporation doing all these birth and death certificates. If you have any particular new member born in the family, you need to get the birth certificate from the municipal corporation. If a person dies, then the death certificate has to be obtained from the municipal corporation. So that is how the things are done. Undertaking of public safety and security, like maintenance of fire department, fire engines, disasters like floods and earthquake management groups are to be done. So all that is taken under consideration by the municipal corporation. Preparation, publishing and issuing of annual report of the corporation is also one of the important things. What plans they have, what projects they are going to come up, all those things, programs, plans, projects, everything has to be given by the municipal corporation, so that people know what work has been done and what is to be done. And not only people, but even the official designatories and the higher executives. These are the important functions. Now we talk about the optional functions which are discretionary. That is something which a municipal corporation might do or they might not do. That is not that they have to do it. These are public housing through housing boards, that is making all the apartments and things proper housing departments for housing flat areas like you have in Delhi, Bombay, the big cities. Similarly in various other cities they might have. So that is one of the optional functions that they can do. Construction and maintenance of public parks, libraries, museums, theaters, akhadas and picnic resorts, all these things are maintained and decided and to be done by the municipal corporations. Establishing of various you can say children's homes, orphanages, old age homes, and then even the night shelters and rest houses, they are all to be maintained, or you can say constructed by the municipal corporation if the requirement is, or if they think it is beneficial for the state and for the citizens, not state, sorry, for the city and the citizens. Next is undertaking welfare schemes, organizing fairs, functions, and even the melas, as in the panchayats also, even in many of the city, as in the gram panchayats, they do the village fairs. Similarly, in the many of the cities also, you must have heard of the pradarshnis or numaish or many trade fair. These are also organized by them. Then lastly we have the beautification of city. It is diverse, it can be in any ways, like fountains, parks, tree plantation, some construction of some particular particularly memorabilia or something. Any particular kind of beautification is included in this particular category, and that is all done by the municipal corporation. So these are all the functions and all the things about the municipal corporation. Next category is the municipal committee, and that we'll do in the coming up chapter. The municipal committee and the other gram nyay panchayat, that nagar panchayats, that we'll do later onwards. Mainly we are supposed to do the municipal committee, that is important. So let's finish this over here. In the next video we will be doing the next part of the chapter.